If you're not really into the recent hype of mercenaries that just came out and you really want to win in ladder, you have come to the right place. Aggro Druid is definitely one of, if not the powerhouses of the moment. I highly advise trying it, as from beginner to grandmaster, everyone wins with this deck. Hi, I'm Erwin. I do many things in life, but today we are here to talk about Hearthstone, and that's what we are gonna do with this complete Aggro Druid guide. Let's start this off with the Mulligan. It is quite hard to Mulligan in an aggro deck, I'm not gonna lie. However, for a general rule of thumb, you will obviously always look for the cheaper cards that represent the vast majority of your deck, and more precisely our good friend Razorman Battle Guard, which is absolutely insane in the deck, as well as the Peasant. These are the two most wanted ones for you. You can also obviously keep the Squirrel in many games, as well as the Bone Chewer Brawler. Also, sometimes if you are having a lot of 1-drops and you need to draw, you can keep composting, but that is very specific. In some matchups you will always want to keep Farwatch Post, and obviously you will never keep all of these expensive minions, and you will try to never get the Mule. Of course you will want to draw it, obviously. Anyway, basically the deck is quite easy. You will just need to overwhelm your opponent in the early game. You can kill them with Arbor Up, you can stick to the board with a Greybar, which is of course synchronized with this magnificent Battle Guard, which also works with the Brawler, the Annoyatron, and many taunts in the game. And most importantly, and this is the most important part I think, you can use composting to refill your hand. How annoying is it for your opponent when they finally manage to destroy your whole sticky board and you just draw 7 cards at once for 2 mana? This is every control player's nightmare. Quickly about the matchups, you can of course win against anyone because you're a top tier deck, but you will struggle against many control decks like the Quest Mage. However, you will most of the time destroy the Garrote Rogues and other greedy decks. Well, let's do a game and see how things go. Please no mage, please no mage. Try to dodge the mages. If they are too much, maybe you shouldn't play this deck. A Paladin! Alright, this is doable. This is definitely doable. There's our wonderful Peasants. Arbor Up is way too late, and composting, I don't have a reliable hand enough to keep any of them, but maybe like if I had 3 1-drops here, I could keep one composting, but here, let's just stick to the Peasant. We drew the Mule, that is sad, but we have 2 Peasants and our opponents hopefully doesn't have a 1-drop. They do, yeah, Libram Paladin is probably a tough one. So this is where the hard part begins. First turn, because you have so many cheap cards, you need to make very tough decisions. So here you have a few options, not the Mule, obviously, but you can either play 2 Peasants, or a Peasant and a Squirrel, or coin the Annoyatron to protect them because they have a very good trade. I feel like the Annoyatron could be good to protect the double Peasants next turn, because most of the time they won't do much on turn 2, maybe put a token or a Hand of a Doll, but they will need to hit this Annoyatron twice. Okay, that's a bit annoying, but we can trade it. Now we play the double Peasants to draw as much as we can, and we trade this. The important part of this deck is taking control of the board at any cost. So whenever you can do value trade, you do it. This is an arena deck, always remember this. And look at this, the 2 Peasants can stick to the board. Amazing. A Panther, a Post, and our beautiful Battle Guard. I guess it's time to play it. The first taunt minion you play each turn costs 2 less. This is one of the key cards of the deck alongside Oracle of Elune, Greybar, and Arbor Up. So let's just play it with a 0 mana Mule. Sometimes you have to think of the placement, but against Paladin, I think there's nothing you have to worry about. And well, you just complete the curve with the squirrel. And of course, we never trade the peasants, we want them alive. So ideally, next turn will be either Panther or Watchpost, depending on the board. And Arbor Up on turn 5 is devastating. Okay, that's very annoying. That's probably the best thing they could play, because now they get to trade 2 1-drops as well as our taunt. But... oh no, they're gonna trade the Battle Guard? This is a Libram, definitely. No, Librams cost 1. What can it be? A 0? Oh, they cost 0 because they played Cariel. Okay, never mind, sorry. So, this one sticks to the board, and as usual, we have plenty of options. So we can just either Panther and trade, which sounds decent. We have the board. Or we could do Watchpost, Og Merchant here and double trade, and that leaves us with a 2-2, a 2-3 and a 2-1. I think it's better to do this before the turn of Arbor Up, so you go as wide as possible. So let's do this instead. Let's go wide. Because even though the post cannot attack like this thing from a 2-1 to a 4-2 is a huge deal. So now they have to deal with both the post and the Battle Guard, and they used their biggest rush minion in the early game, of course. This sounds nice. Okay. If everything sticks to the board, we are gonna have a huge Arbor Up, and it does. Okay, this is huge. Alright, doesn't matter, we can trade it. Turn 5, Arbor Up, perfect. The only thing we are lacking now is composting. So like if they have the Libram and the City Tax, we can be in trouble. This is definitely a value trade, yep. And the question is, do we trade this? Because they have a free trade there, if we don't. But 4 damage is a lot. This is exactly the kind of choice you will have to do as aggro. I think most paladins don't play City Tax, so I want to trade. But maybe I'm wrong. I want to trade, but I'm not a huge aggro player. Maybe I'm doing bad choices. But overall, the post sticking to the board is huge. Can really help us. The problem is obviously going to be the late game when our good friend Pain Train will start using the Libram of Hopes, and that's when trouble starts to... okay. City Tax. Samuro. Well, rip our beautiful board. Gone too soon. No composting. That's the punish. Now if we could draw low cost minions, that would be great with this. Otherwise it's obviously just a Panther turn, because you want to keep the Oracle of Elune with many cheap minions. Okay, Teacher's Pet is cool, but again we want to take the board. So we always do this. Want the board, we want the board. Forgot about Samuro, but honestly I don't think I would have played any different. They needed exactly the Libram of Justice plus Samuro. And that's where trouble starts to appear. This is a very hard matchup. Basically, if you cannot kill them with your Arbor Up on turn 5, it's kind of doomed. I'm not gonna lie, unfortunately. But believe me, this deck is amazing. Just because I lose with it doesn't mean it's bad. So we can go a bit wide with this, or I think I'm gonna just Teacher's Pet and Hero Power in this. We don't care about our HP. Do we trade? I don't think so. Ideally, we'll have another minion that costs 2 or less next turn, so we can combo, go even wider. Worst case scenario right now is if they trade the Teacher's Pet, we get something bad, and they use a Libram of Hope on the Libram of on the Angel. What is this? On the Ancient Guardian. That is huge. Except if they can kill it. City Tax, nothing, maybe. If they can't kill it, this is huge. Even if they heal the Guardian. Another Libram of Justice. And the City Tax. Okay, like this hurts a lot. This hurts a lot. But they only have 2 cards in hands. Let's try to see if we can do something. An Acorn? If we draw Composting now, this is huge. Another one? It's bad. Okay, sad. Yeah, the problem is I really want to keep this for composting, but is this enough? I think Teacher's Pet is the best option, and I think we're gonna hit again. This is a very weird choice, but I don't want them to value trade here and heal after or anything. Like, just don't value trade. It's not gonna change much if I am at 22 or 13. You absolutely need to take control of the board again, so hopefully they won't draw anything good, which is probably not gonna happen, let's be honest here. And we also need to draw composting. Okay, if that's the Libram of Hope. Yep, but because of the trade I did, now it's at 5 HP instead of full HP. Okay, that's the best one, but still not gonna be enough. Posting. Still no composting, so yeah, that's over. But let's just keep playing everything. We hit here, and do we hit here again? I guess we can, right? They don't have any direct damage, and we want to take it down. We're almost done in any case, so might as well try it. Alright, Hand of a Doll. They use Samuro, doubled Libero Justice. Yeah, I don't think they can kill us. That's why I took the hit. Okay, this is okay with only 4 cards in hand, including a Libram, I think. Okay, composting maybe now. Composting, and we might play the game. Yep, that is game. Is it? Is it? We can trade everything, but then no, that is it. Well, rip. I'm sorry. I lost this game, but I cannot only put wins in my guides because this is the reality. This matchup is very tough, but yeah, I really hope I showed you how you should play this deck. And obviously it varies depending on your opponent. The main thing you have to worry about is Mulligan, when to use the coin if you have it, which choices to do in the early turns, which trades you should do and when you should instead go face, and also very important, the removals that your opponent has. If you're playing against Mage and they go onto their turn 4 and oh, they haven't played any fire spell, you should not go extremely wide and keep your board at more than 3 HP ideally, and with Divine Shields if you can. Yeah, try to remember what your opponents can have. There is also the Soul Rend from the Warlocks that deals 5 on turn 4. If you can remember all of this, take the right choices, this deck will lead you to success, trust me. And even if you're bad at this deck, in the lower ranks it won't matter because it's extremely good and you will definitely climb with it. If you get good at it, you can reach top legends. Anyway, there you go. I hope you love this guide. If you have any question whatsoever, tell me in the comments. If you want me to cover another deck next, tell me everything in the comments. And if you want to tell me everything in the comments, tell me everything in the comments. And as usual, thank you for watching. Good luck on your games. Take care. See you around.